Hello, everybody. This is Will Taegel. I'm Dean of the Wisdom School of Graduate School at Ubiquity, and we welcome you to this global wisdom community call. We're engaging a new platform today, and we have some beautiful guests, and we'll look forward to how this unfolds. However, before we get to the opening prayer with Grandmother Flordemayo, I'm going to light some herbs, and then Judith will tell us a little bit about the herbs. But since we can see things today for the first time, we're going to bring you into this this burning of a fire with sacred herbs. And so, Judith, if you would say a little bit about the herbs.
Sure. Hello, everyone. So glad to be here with you today. This is Judith Yost. I'm the Dean of Students at Wisdom School of Graduate Studies, Ubiquity. These herbs that are bringing this lovely smoke are sacred herbs. They have qualities that are very important. So we start with sage, which is a purifying herb. It's for cleansing, for letting go, for opening, for letting go of anything that is getting in your way. So we use the sage to cleanse ourselves. Another herb that's in there is called sweetgrass, which has a wonderful aroma. And that's an attractor. That attracts in the good, attracts in what you need in your life. And we also have juniper. The juniper is a balancing herb. Juniper or cedar. Yeah, thanks. I got my coach here. So we want to walk in balance. Walking in beauty, walking in harmony is walking in balance. So we balance what we need to let go of. We balance what we bring into ourselves, and then we are in coherence with the earth and with the mother and with all that is. So thank you very much. Just imagine.
Thank you, and thank you for the sacred herbs. And we bring now into our midst, I'll say more about Grandmother Flordemayo in just a few moments, but I'm asking Flordemayo to open our call now with a prayer and song. And she will be coming in by way of telephone, so we won't be seeing her, but we'll be hearing your voice. Welcome, Grandmother Flordemayo.
Thank you so very much. I greet each and every one of you in the four directions. I would like to thank our beloved Creator, Mother, Father, Creator of the heavens and the earth. Today in our sacred calendar, our Mayan calendar, is the day of Kawuk, which is the day in which we honor community, we honor individuals. It's the relationships between groups and life. It is the relationship between generations of the future. It is the day in which we honor our families, our descendants. We honor society, we honor the towns, the countries, the pueblos, the community all together. In other words, today is the day in which we honor all existence on the planet Earth, not only on the planet, but also in the galaxy. We are honoring the universe and all of its expansiveness. That is the day of today, the day of Kawuk. This is what it signifies. It is also the day in which we honor the herbs. So I would like to extend the prayer out into the universe. Beloved Creator, beloved Mother, Father, Creator of the heavens and the earth, heart of the heavens, heart of the earth. Thank you, beloved Mother, for the beauty that you bring to us on this sacred moment as we stand before you in a circle of light. All of those listening, beloved Creator, in the four directions, male and female, beloved Mother. Thank you for the beauty of the moment. Thank you for allowing us to get together on this sacred day in which we are listening to you through the heart, beloved Mother. Thank you for the beauty of this sacred day of Kawok, in which we are honoring each and every one of us in the four directions, honoring our communities, honoring all of the people involved, beloved Creator. We're thinking of all of those that are working towards making this a better planet. Not only a better planet, but here we are standing as children of the stars. We are terrestrial beings and we're galactic beings, beloved Creator. Thank you for the beauty of this sacred day, beloved Creator. Thank you for allowing us to be here and to be honoring you in this beautiful sacred way. Thank you for the beauty of the healing herbs, beloved Creator. All of the people involved that work out in the fields, that work with seeds, beloved Mother, thank you. People in small communities and large communities and large cities, beloved Creator. Embracing you in my heart, beloved Mother, and each and every one of you in the four directions. As we send our prayers, our humming, beloved Creator, the vibration of these words, beloved Creator, through the sacred scent and the sacred smoke, beloved Mother. Beloved Creator, we ask that you bless us with this beautiful scent, each and every one of us and all in the four directions, beloved Mother, as we send our prayers out into the universe. Sending the healing prayers, beloved Creator. And removing anything that does not belong there, beloved Creator. Let it be so, beloved Mother. Thank you.
And thank you so much for this auspicious beginning and a sense of uniting our hearts as we come together today to discuss healing our hearts across 7 generations. And Grandmother Flordemayo has been a founding member of the Church of Spiritual Path and the Confederation of Indigenous Elders of the Americas and the Institute of Natural and Traditional Knowledge. She's a part of the original and international council of 13 indigenous grandmothers. So we're so grateful to have you with us today. And because of the connection that we're experiencing today, I want to invite you to move right away to tell just a little bit about the vision you had in 2012 about seeds and the importance of seeds for this generation and the generation in the future.
In 2012, it is only a part of the vision. The vision started way back when I was a child, but the big vision that I had in 2012 was the voice of the invisible beings waking me in the middle of the night in January, and the voice said to me, "You need to bring the people to New Mexico." And I opened my eyes, and I remember going into dialogue with the invisible voice. And my dialogue was, bring people here to my house. And I started, it was just me in dialogue, asking many questions. And the answer that I got back was now, and it was very stern. So I went into prayer January, February, March, April, May. On May 5th, one of my neighbors had the key to this 40 acres down the road from where I live, and said to me that I need to come down and pick up the keys, that they were leaving this property. And the reason that he was calling me was because the property was previously owned by our son-in-law and daughter, and they had sold it on an owner's contract. And so I went out there to the land. I picked up the keys. I spent quite a bit of time there in prayer and speaking to the beloved mother. And I said to the beloved mother, I said, "Is this where you want me to bring the people?" And out of nowhere, it seemed to me that out of, not anywhere that I could see with my physical eyes, there came this beautiful little gust of breath, of sacred breath, and touched me on the cheek, and it felt to me like it was a kiss from the invisible beings. And when I felt that, I went into dialogue, and I said to the holy ones, I said, I am going to go inside and speak to the spirit of the water and do a sacred bath. In other words, cleanse my body in a sacred manner. And after that, I waited for a vision. And the vision came, and I saw myself and my daughter, who was the previous owner of the land. I saw ourselves coming into the gate. At that moment, the land was barren in the vision, and came in through the gate, and we went into the center of this 40 acres. And the acres is like a square, like a box. It's like 1,400 square feet on each angle. And so we went to the center of the property, her and I. And according to the teachings of the grandmothers, her and I split into 4 different people, walking towards the 4 direction, praying and squatting. And as we squat, we blessed the land with our menstrual. And we did that until we covered the whole property, the whole 40 acres. And that was pretty much the whole vision. I inquired and I called my elders in Central America, and I spoke to them about the vision that I had. And the elders advised me that I needed to own the property one way or another. So between May, June, July, and August, on August 5th, my mother-in-law asked myself and my husband, "What are you kids going to do with that land?" And we said to Grandma that we have tried everything to try buy the land, but because it's desert, barren land, pretty much the banks would not give us a loan for what was owed. And so my mother-in-law at that moment said that she was going to purchase the land. And so on May 5th, my mother-in-law went to the bank and she purchased the land. And at that moment, I say to people that the land fell from the heavens because we did not know how we would get the land or how I would get the land. And so as soon as the land became our property, then I started working on the land with what I was being told. And so the second part of the vision was I saw myself building these different temples. And within the same time that I saw myself, which was a process of months in between, I saw myself building the seed temple. And as the seed temple was being built, then I had another vision where the beloved mother was speaking to me, and I'm sitting in a rocking chair, and I was making tiny little bundles of seeds, and the invisible voice of the beloved mother said to me, make these bundles and give them to the children. Remind the parents that they need to take care of the seed children just as they're taking care of their human children. Mm-hmm. And remind the children to take care of the seeds as they are living seeds. And so with this vision, I started making little bundles of seeds. The seed keepers started coming and answering the call that I've put out in the 4 directions. And I started putting the prayer, putting the visions, and just putting the calling for different people to come and to help and to volunteer in building of these sacred temples. We have Temple of the Fire, Temple of the Water. We have a wind temple, which is represented by this gong. We have the earth temple. We have the seed temple, which is underground, 9-foot building with a 9-foot building. That's where we're saving the seeds. And we have 2 teaching temples, the upstairs of the seed temple. And also we have the teaching temple, which is the temple of the golden child. And so I've been there taking care of the temples and and doing my prayers on a daily basis and taking care of the land since this time, 2012.
Well, thank you so much, Flordemayo. And one of the takeaways that's touching my heart right now is you're tending the seeds, not only for this generation, but for our children and our children's children. And this beautiful vision that you're manifesting. I just want to say to the participants that we'll be sending out a link to Flordemayo's website so you can connect with this land perhaps yourself. And for today, it's such a beautiful possibility that we can tend the physical seeds of actual plants and also the spiritual seeds that will perhaps manifest in a new civilization that comes up through the compost and the ashes of the world that we see around us. And I also want to welcome today Jean Fleury, and you'll be able to see Jean there on your screen. Jean will be coming. I think we lost Jean's picture there.
She's coming up.
There you are. Okay, so Jean is an enrolled member of the Crow Creek Sioux tribe in South Dakota and founded the Kunsi Unchi Grandmothers Society, and she was her tribe's first peace ambassador. And more importantly for our work today, is a co-creator of the Healing Hearts at Wounded Knee project. So welcome, Jean, in our circle today.
Thank you so much, Will. It's a real pleasure to be here, and I guess I should explain to people what you see here in the background. I'm actually in my automobile, and I was laughing earlier with Will and Judith saying, well, for being on the road, what an appropriate place. I'm in my car to talk to you today. But this has been a lifelong journey. I think that any of us that are involved in all of this work right now, I think we're discovering that all of the pieces of our lives and our experiences have led us to be right where we are right now. And the potential is very great. And I got involved with Healing Hearts at Wounded Knee a year ago, January. I met Samuel Bonder, who is another spiritual teacher who had founded Waking Down in Mutuality. It's another type of spiritual progression, of which there are many. And in our meeting, I started talking about, I don't know exactly why, but I started talking about Wounded Knee. And Daniel lit up and he said, wow, I have a connection with Wounded Knee. And I told him that I had walked in 1990 for the 100th year memorial celebration and the experiences I had there. And then he proceeded to show me a book, a chapter from a book that he had written in 1994 about being called to Wounded Knee as a penitent, and that Wounded Knee is emblematic of the whole phenomenon of massacre. It's not just Wounded Knee, it's Wounded Knees all over the world. And I felt that same realization, that humanity is suffering from these things in a multi-generational, multilineal way. And in his book, he had written that he hoped that he would be guided there by a person who was Native, and that preferably a woman. And in the course of our conversation, we realized in 2014 that he had written about our meeting that we were having then. Really a very powerful numinous and presence in the air. I mean, it was just very thick and almost palpable. It was really amazing. And subsequent to that, we knew, I knew that I would be guiding Samuel to Wounded Knee. And the minute I looked into it, I realized that upcoming the following year would be the 125th memorial. So it wasn't by accident. It was just a whole series of beautiful synchronicities and callings that have been guiding this whole process along. And what I would like to do today, because I think this is a very, very important piece, is to read what happened. I want to give a tiny bit of background about this. I met Flordemayo at the Parliament of World Religions, and we just had such a profound and lovely coming together in sisterhood and in mutual love and respect. And then I was invited and felt called to go to her land. And in the meantime, we were working on and generating this letter, this letter of inspiration. And when I arrived on Flordemayo's land, Audrey Scott Williams was making a preparation to have an interview with me about Wounded Knee on her radio talk show. And so I said to Flordemayo, I said, wow, Flordemayo, I'm going to be at your place. Why don't you be on this with me? And she said, well, sure. And then all of a sudden, and then the letter was complete. So here, Audrey Scott Williams had worked on the letter, my sister, Flordemayo, and I. And when the talk show recorded, we all knew that we'd been brought together by spirit to bring this forward. So I want to read this letter to everyone here because this is a really important calling and invitation, and we can make this available to everyone who's on the call. This is called Letter of Invitation to Global Indigenous. Dear respected and treasured relatives, this is a very special invitation and call to all Indigenous peoples around the world. You are invited to help create and bring forth a worldwide ceremony, a series of global ceremonies starting on this December 29th, 2015 at 12 noon in each of your respective time zones for these three sacred purposes. 1, to honor all of our human ancestors who have ever perished in war, genocide, and holocausts, and all of our relatives who are still dying from these actions by ourselves upon one another. This is all of humanity. 2, to initiate and carry forward the great and deep healing needed by all people, all families, all nations, the ancient and mostly denied wounds, the buried pain, the bitterness, and the rage caused by all our heinous acts. And 3, to lead humanity to help turn humanity to a state of remembrance, the remembering of who we truly are, sacred, divine, precious, embodied spiritual beings. We Indigenous are called to lead the great turning. Throughout the 1200-year cycle of this current human flourishing, the Indigenous have maintained ties and relations with the spirits of the plants, animals, trees, insects, earth, planets, suns, the spirits of those departed who once lived embodied lives, our ancestors, and with many spirits that have never taken physical form. Humanity of all ages and all locations have always had gifted teachers, healers, shamans, and spiritual guides. The sacred great mystery has been our constant resource in this sacred task. However, most of humanity and many Indigenous too have been and continue to be in a very lost state of being. But we're all awakening. Our hearts are reopening, reigniting with the flame of love, wisdom, courage, power, and compassion. The Indigenous ceremonies are coming back. Our ties with great mystery are growing strong again. The Indigenous are realizing a dawning strength in alliance with the sacred. Each pilgrimage, each prayer, each meditation, each talking circle, each sweat lodge, each labyrinth walk, each sundance, each healing ministration in which we invite the sacred to join with us, inspire us, and journey with us is making us stronger each and every day. Indeed, ceremony is important on a daily basis in every venue of our lives. Our Indigenous sacred wisdom, ceremonies, plant knowledge, star knowledge, and communications are needed by the rest of our brothers and sisters on our planet. We all need to heal. We need to reach out to our lost oppressors because they are too lost right now to reach out to us. We have grown strong enough now to do this. Enough of us have healed. Enough of us have protected our sacred ones. Enough of us have been brought together so we can serve our future generations in this sacred task. An essential piece of historical background, many Lakota, Minkanju, Dakota, and representative other tribes and their supporters have been making a great ceremony each December 15th to 29th for the last 29 years called the Chief Bigfoot Band Memorial Ride and Ceremony, In 1990, at the 100th year memorial of the massacre of Wounded Knee, Chief Arvol Looking Horse held a great wiping of the tears ceremony to bring our people out of mourning and into healing. He asked that there be no more wounded knees throughout the world. He called for the end of massacres. We would like to honor Virgil Kilstraight, who had the dream for this ceremony 25 years ago. Similarly, many other indigenous across the world have been hosting more and more ceremonies as our healing has already begun. Chief Looking Horse helped create World Peace and Prayer Day. It is time to make every day World Peace and Prayer Day. We begin the leadership for our great turning starting this December 29th, 2015 at 12 noon in each time zone around the world by holding our first global-wide ceremony, Healing Hearts at Wounded Knee. Our prayers, our songs, our devotion, our commitment, our love will encircle our entire planet, be carried on every wind and breeze, be heard by the birds, the plants, the animals, the mountains and rocks, the streams, lakes, and oceans, our ancestors, the earth, and most precious of all, great mystery walk home. We offer a great heart song flowing forth into space, our singing blue-green planet, serenading our Milky Way. Dearest, most precious, most beautiful Native Indigenous people of each land, ring out this news to all your kindred, your family, your friends, your neighbors, and come to listen with clear hearts, nostrils, ear sockets, skin, eyes wide open, and searing, discerning mind. Ready yourselves. Listen, hear. We, the indigenous of Earth, are being invited and called to inspire and lead this great turning, which we already know is here. We are already at the forefront, the leading edge of this turning tide of human relations. Embedded within our very souls lies the rising tsunami of spirit that has already birthed us to do this very planetary miracle. We are bringing forth, honoring, nurturing, and launching the greatest tidal force of love the world has not yet known. The love in our hearts is a love in our minds, in our stomachs, love in our bowels, legs, arms, feet, and hair. Love is in each cell, each atomic bit of our very being. Love is in, beauty is in the love. Beauty is in each cell, molecule, and atom of our being too. We are love and we are beauty. Radiance, the great shining, brilliant radiance of love shines out, heralds forth power, power in each fiber and breath of our being. We are love, beauty, and radiant power. We are joy. We are the joy in radiant, beautiful, powerful love. That is who we are. This is who we are. Love, joy, beauty, truth, power, wisdom, eternal, infinite, compassionate, tender, and forgiving. This is who we are. In our great songs, ceremonies, dance, music, art, poetry, marriages, families, and friendships, we express and enjoy all these elements of our being. We worship, pray, and we listen. For a long time, many millennia, mostly we have forgotten who we are. Some to lesser amount, some to greater amount, we have forgotten. Fear, greed, hoarding, envy, hatred, and deceit have grown into murder, lying, war, massacre, mutilation, slavery, and more. This has been a great journey into the darkness of lost. We have abused power and been abused by power in every form and in every way. There is too much to say. Now is the time for the great turning. We are being healed by Great Spirit, great mystery, its power and love. We are being called by Great Spirit to lead a great healing. On this December 29th, 2015, at 12 noon around the earth, we initiate the tide of healing and ending war, massacre, racism, genocide, Holocaust, rape, mutilation, slavery, and deceit. We pledge to end these acts. We pledge to embrace love and peace. The ceremony will mark a great moment in time as our unique indigenous relationship with the earth and with all her citizenry is honored and shared with all of humankind. Thus blooms our leadership as we share these sacred gifts. We hold a unique responsibility in our wisdom and heritage. As these and other ceremonies and various modes of healing rapidly grow, we will be witnessing and raising more than we can yet imagine. For this worldwide ceremony will inspire many different expressions and actions for healing. We will be holding the Healing Hearts and Wounded Knee ceremony over the next 4 years. This is to ignite many other ceremonies and healing practices in all modes and forms to heal the multi-generational, multilineal wounds deep inside all of humanity. We are returning all of our lost souls back into remembrance of who we are. And it will take a bit of time, but not much, for love, with love, we face our abomination and wisdom. The understanding, the compassion, the forgiveness explodes into epiphany. Who suffer, who know privation, who endure rape, torture, and dismemberment, who have died in knowing shame. We who have lost our families, our lives, it is time to come home. It is time to empty our prisons, forgive and heal our transgressions. We are all the same. We are one. It is time to feed the hungry, house the homeless, clothe the naked, embrace our too rich, and unhoard our stores and our homes. Our pain is coming home. This very maelstrom is hiding whilst flowering and feeding the seeds of the greatest love we have never known. And yes, we are awakening. We are being pulled out of our slumber, however deep. We do this for ourselves, for our dearest, most precious, most wonderful, our children, all children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, for our ancestors back beyond time, for the flowers, honeybees, gnats and weasels, mountains, streams, birds and shores, our precious earth. We do this for all.
So thank you for that, Jean. And that letter is a letter really that goes straight to our hearts with the background of the Paris massacre, the background of the San Bernardino massacre, and we're all really working on our own wounds, and yet coming to that beautiful place that you mentioned of this ceremony of wiping away the tears and moving into possibility. And you know, you and I were talking earlier about a gathering we're going to have in late February, where we're inviting people from around the globe to come and begin tending Flordemayo's spiritual seeds of a new civilization. So see if you can speak to that for a moment.
Yes, you have been talking, I guess this is what the second call about these seeds of the new civilization. And I see all over the planet there are many leaders who are gathering in various ways, like Barbara Marx Hubbard has her great wheel. The Thrive movement has its great wheel. Deepak Chopra, he's a great teacher about things. Humanities, let's see, it's Humanities Team with Irvin Laszlo and Steve Farrell. I mean, there are many, many groups that are Chief Phil Lane and his Indigenous leadership, Audrey Scott Williams and the Indigenous leadership, the URI, United Religions Initiative. So there are very many actions and activities going on that are full of inspiration. And it seems like there needs to be a center, because there are all of these different groups and there's all this work. And I know that these ceremonies are a direct action where communities in their own locations are going to be coming together. And we don't know what those inspirations yet are going to be, but we need to be prepared for great inspiration, especially as people heal and these energies are released. And I feel like Wisdom University could be one of the focal points for having a place for not only dialogue, but action and recognizing what works, what doesn't work there. And for this global communication, I suppose originally the United Nations was kind of, maybe that was part of the whole vision, that they had originally had, but it's now very political. And I don't know, maybe the United Nations is going to be transformed. That part we don't know yet. But I just feel like there is a potential with Wisdom University for there to be a recognition of all of these different sectors and all these different leaders, so we can gain a voice for humanity, for a transformation
Yes.
You
and I were talking earlier about the fact that if you look around the globe today, we can see that the center of the old civilization, which really, I would say, invaded the Americas and had its day, but that center is not holding anymore. And we don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but we know that there's the need for a new center, a spiritual center. And that's really what I think we're about, and what your beautiful letter is about, and that the wounds that we've experienced individually, but also as a culture, are needing the kind of tending that you mentioned.
Well, I think, I'm so sorry to interrupt right now, but
yeah.
Flordemayo with her golden child, and what you're talking about is we're global citizens now.
Yes.
And that's our center. And
yeah.
And we're arising out of mystery. So if we could maybe take responsibility for leading and guiding global citizenry and spiritual citizenry, maybe that's one of the ways we could start talking about this. And I just love the way this opened for this day to be cute. Is that how you say this? The beautiful relationship between all the generations and the herbs and one another. What a synchronous, beautiful thing, that we're talking about this together. And when we started this, we closed our eyes, and I could feel the connection of everyone on this call. It's so beautiful, and the devotion is so beautiful and strong. So
one of our sponsors of today, one of our collaborators, is the Earth Tribe, and there's a saying in the Earth Tribe: if you love the earth, you're in. And what else are we we're a part of the earth. We are the earth. We're aspects of the earth. We're cells in the body of the earth, and that's what the great return is about, or as you put it, as the great turning of humanity back into our identity as children and offspring and manifestations of the earth. So I want to pause here for just a moment and bring in some other people. First, I want to have HeatherAsh, Amara, who's speaking to us from and visualizing from on video from Teotihuacan in Mexico in the shadow of the pyramids. So, HeatherAsh, if you would respond to Flordemayo and also to Jean Fleury.
Thank you, Will and Judith and Flordemayo and Jean. I am just so honored to be part of this circle and to feel the energy of the elders that are here. And what I felt as I was listening and feeling this group and feeling the power of the prayer of the indigenous coming forward and saying, we've healed enough and now we can bring the healing forward. That for each of us, it's so easy to get caught in the wound. And the wound manifests all over the place all the time, whether there's a massacre or whether there's a starving child or whether there is a split between ourselves and the divine. That wound is constantly manifesting, and we're being shown the wound over and over again. And to heal the wound, we have to begin to come back into ourself and our connection to spirit and our connection to each other with the willingness to bring that love forward and take our attention away off the wound. No, the wound is there. And that to embrace that wound, that's how I want to say it, is to embrace that wound with our love. That while there are still terrible things happening around the world, while we are still in such disarray with ourselves and humans and nature, there's also babies being born, there's also seeds being planted, there are also communities all over the world coming together. And so if we can bring our attention to that, to creating those bridges between each other, the bridges of respect, the bridges of forgiveness, our presence with each other, then that is what will heal and allow the ancestors to come forward and also allow the ones that are coming to come forward in that healing as well. Because there's really no time. We're all, when we show up in that sacred way of honoring the land, of honoring the mother, of honoring the sun, of honoring the plants, everything, the humans, then there's no time. And we remember our place in all things. So much gratitude to everyone on this call and to Will and Judith for holding space.
Oh, thank you so much, HeatherAsh. And speaking of Judith, I want to invite Judith to respond as well, and however you would like.
Well, I want to just tell a little story that seems to be synchronistic. For the last 2 days, a song has been circulating through my mind, through my brain, through my body. That it's a sweet little song composed and sung by one of our Earth Tribe members. And it feels to me like this song is for Flordemayo because of her story. So I want to sing it to y'all. The spirit is in the land. We have come to walk with the Spirit. The Spirit is in the land. We have come to walk with the Spirit in the land. Send us a voice. Send us your voice. Send us your voice, Wankan Tonka. The Spirit is in the land. We have come to walk with the Spirit in the land. Ho.
Oh, oh. Yeah, and really that is the essence of the healing across generations. The spirit in the land is really linking us together and giving us possibility and giving us an opening to each other. So I want to take a few minutes now and open the circle for comments and questions, and keeping them brief so we can have as many people as possible. And Dan is going to help me with this.
Kathy Green has her hand.
Okay, Kathy Green, we're here for your comment or question. To see if Dan can bring that in.
This is Kathy.
Yes, Kathy, you're I think you're on.
I'm not sure why I got called up, but thank you for doing all the work, and thank you for having HeatherAsh on there. I'm driving in my car, and I don't know why y'all called my name.
Okay, all right, good. So Dan, tell them how they can hold up their hand. Those of you who have a screen, you can hold up your hand by doing what, Dan?
So you hold up your hand by if you hover over the top of the screen or the variety of options, and one of them is raise your hand. So if you'll hover over either the top or the bottom of your screen, you'll see raise your hand. You won't see it.
Okay. So see if
so Martha Dewey.
Okay, Martha.
And I will make you visible on our screen.
While we're waiting for Dan to bring Martha in, just want to take just a moment to respond to a T-shirt that you see in many Indigenous people, and that is resisting terrorism since 1492. So we have to really kind of own our own terrorists. Okay, so we're bringing. Who's this, Dan?
Martha Dewey.
Martha, you're here, and if you'll unmute yourself, we'll be able to hear from you. There you are.
Does that work?
Yes, it does. We can hear you.
Wow!
Now we can hear and we can see you.
On the big screen.
On the big screen.
If I known this was happening, I would have freaked up a little bit.
Yeah, so do you have a comment you'd like to make or a question?
Well, I do have a comment, a brief comment. I've been working past lives where I've felt death, massacre, etc. And about 3 weeks ago, I had a vision, and there was a whole lot of dried leaves falling out of my heart chakra. And then when I looked again, there was a basket with seeds. And I understand that I am to take care of these seeds. And listening to you people, it's just, thank you. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much.
For letting me know what to do.
Yes.
That's it.
Okay, good. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you so much. And in some ways, everyone on this call is helping to tend the seeds of the human return to the natural order into the loins of the earth. And hopefully it will be received back. You know, it's not guaranteed that the human species is going to be received back, but it's our hope and our prayer. So are there any others who would like to hold up your hand? Again, Dan, explain to them how to hold up their hand.
So
We got,
yeah.
okay.
So Margit Stamel.
Margit.
And give me a moment and I'll get her up.
There's just a slight delay as we bring in this person.
Hello?
Just be patient with us.
Okay.
Okay.
I was last week at the Austin demonstration for climate change, and I thought that was really a profound experience, because I think we have to bring all those spiritual knowledge that we have into the political arena as well. That we have to go inward and then bring that message out to the world through our actions. And in my case, it's important that we speak up politically through our vote, through our actions, through our everyday life, and how we can take care of the earth. And we were almost 1,000 people at this conference, and to me it was like, okay, there is a movement there. I am originally from Germany, and I grew up there, and the whole concept of like being connected to the earth, living holistically, has been there for 30 years. And I think America is just catching up to this, or the indigenous people, our Native American brothers and sisters, they knew it all along, but the people who came afterwards, I think they're just now starting to change the collective consciousness. So I think we still have a very long way to go, but I think the seeds are there, and I see it in Austin in multiple groups. I know HeatherAsh, Amara, and there are so many people who help people find their way. And I also think you have to start from the inside out. If you cannot heal yourself first, you cannot heal the planet.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And yeah, we were there, and with our little banner, you may have seen us. It was a cold day, and we had 1,000 of us, and I think that continues. And in fact, next Saturday here in Wimberley, we're going to continue that with the Sweat Lodge and have the banners for climate justice out a week from today. So I want to come back before we complete our call today and give you, Jean Fleury, opportunity to respond after you kind of catch your breath for a moment and bring us your sense of being here today.
I feel that that the call that we're all a part of right now is creating a sense of vulnerability, and that we need to be to be very tender with ourselves throughout this whole process, because I feel like it's been this fear of vulnerability that has that people are afraid, and it blocks being able to trust, and that trust is what is needing to be nurtured in all of our relationships everywhere.
Beautiful.
So.
Yeah, and that is exactly right. In some ways, you could say that vulnerability, our own sense of vulnerability, is the golden thread that leads us deeply into our souls and hearts. So, and then I don't know, Dan, if you'll check and see if Flordemayo is still with us.
Oh, yay.
Good, good. So if Grandmother Flordemayo, if you would respond to what Jean had to say and what others of us had to say.
What kept coming to me as I was listening to everyone one of the things that I know in my heart is that everything that we think, everything that we write, everything that we speak is an expression of prayer. And so everything that we've listened to in the past hour has been a prayer. And in order for us humans to continue with the prayer, we must keep that alive. And we do that by honoring it within our prayers, sending the message from the heart, the vibration out into not only our immediate surroundings, within ourselves, within our homes, within our community, within our town, within our country, within our nation. But then it gets moved so that it goes around the globe. And that is the only way that we become one collective, vibrational being, as we are the children of the earth. And so it's up to us, to continue the prayer and to continue it with every breath, with every inhalation and exhalation, because it needs to be maintained and it needs to be kept alive.
Good. Thank you so much for those very wise words. And as you were speaking, I saw in HeatherAsh, the background of HeatherAsh, that the shaman from Teotihuacan, Alberto Romero, came in and waved and said hello. And this is such a beautiful experience when we have elders all around the planet who are joining us, and some of it in spontaneous. And then we had, reaching forth to the next generation, we had Jean Fleury's granddaughter, who has come up from time to time. So we've enjoyed having Aubrey here with us. Now we're trying to. There's Aubrey.
There's Aubrey.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Bringing Aubrey into our circle today, and it's so important for us to have the seeds, not only of the plants, but the seeds of the spirit, to pass on to our children and our children's children for 7 generations. Now, I'm not sure if we can manage this with our new technology, but I know Will Turner from over at Florida State has a poem, but yeah, he's in the 11 phone call-in listeners. So
ask him to raise his hand.
So, Will, if you're out there and connected, then you can raise your hand. And how would he raise it if he was on the phone? Okay. So we don't know how to bring in the people yet who are calling in by cell phones and by other devices. So we'll have to get that poem the next time around. So next month, we're looking ahead a bit. We'll be gathering on the 2nd day of January. Some people have said, well, that might not be a very good time to gather. But, I think we can talk about agreements, HeatherAsh, and talk about new agreements that can support the sprouting of a new civilization that's earth-based and divine feminine oriented, as we draw in some of the Toltec wisdom about agreements. And also, I want to call our attention to sending love to all of the people from San Bernardino and all the people in Paris, and to all of those of us who have an inner terrorists. It's not only vulnerability that we have to own and embrace, it's also the fact that all of us in our shadow have terrorists that live inside of us. And if we can care about them, if we can be close to them and bring them into our awareness circle, then we won't project this out on others. And this projecting out of the inner terror onto the world around us is a part of the energy, I think, that is causing us the difficulty. So I really want to appreciate that today. And thank you so much, Flordemayo, Grandmother Flordemayo, for being here with us today. We appreciate your bringing the spirit of your land into our circle today. And
thank you so very much. I want to say thank you to everybody, to your staff, and to everyone in the 4 directions that are listening. I just want to say that it's a great honor for me to be here with you.
And it's been our honor to be with you. And Jean, thank you for your participation today, and for your good heart, and for your bringing your granddaughter into our circle today. And thank you for the letter. And I want to also thank all of the grandmothers and grandfathers, our ancestors, who I'm thinking of our grandfather Sitting Bull, who is a part of the circle. And I'm thinking about, you can see in the background, Grandfather Bearheart, who has spent some time in the home with Flordemayo, and is my cherished teacher and continued presence with us. And all of the ancestors that are looking in, joining our circle, and hopefully are pleased for the pyramids and the builders of the pyramids, and for the Mayan people from the Central Highlands, from which Flordemayo is birthed, and those highlands have given her presence today. So I'm grateful for all of this as we join together in the tending of the seeds of a brand new civilization, where we're all citizens of Earth, and we're all beloved by Earth and a part of her circle. So Judith, if you would bring us to a closing moment.
Okay. Generally, I sing at the end of these. I'm going to try. My voice is not working too well today for some reason, but I'm going to do my best with this. We are children of the angels, keepers of the fire. We are children of the angels, reaching for the light. We are not strangers, we're sisters and brothers. We know we came here to love each other, here in the circle of life. Aho.
Aho.
Thank you.
So all our relations, Matakiwasan and Puha, and we're all children of the earth. So Dan, I don't know how you open it up. We can't open it up. So everybody just say goodbye and have a beautiful rest of the day, and we'll see you on January the 2nd.
Thank you.
Aho.
Thank you, Jean. Thank you, Flordemayo. Thank you, HeatherAsh. Thank you, Judith. And thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Will.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody who was on the call. Bye-bye.
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 Bye.